Okay, our inspo for today is this champagne bottle and the champagne glasses. So it says Happy New Year. So the goal is to create balloons as though the champagne glass was popped, and it's going to go round to this, of course, wider. And we're going to put that at the furniture store. So I have a few balloons here for the backdrop. I'm not going to touch those. I'll need some of these. But we have all of these to work with. I might have to add some black. But the plan is to start out small from here and just expand it all the way down, and then we'll put this right next to it. So I'm going to start inflating a few smaller balloons just so they'll go with this, and then I'll add on to it. So we'll have a mixture of organic where they're blocks of color, and we'll have some that are mixed from the top. So from here it'll be more mixed, smaller, and then it'll get wider and just have clusters. So let's inflate a few balloons, and we'll inflate this as well just to gauge how we're gonna expand everything out. I am starting by picking a few smaller balloons. I have some balloons already inflated, but not a lot of the smaller balloons. But with this design, we're creating a tapered look. Please pardon my voice as I'm getting over a cold, but we're going to be tapering the design here because we're going from the top of the bottle all the way out. So we need 5-inch balloons to start working our way around. So creating quads with the 5-inch balloons. I'm using the gold, white, and black to do this to start out with. Eventually I'm going to start adding the clear balloons just to fill in where you have that bubble effect or the bubbles that come from the champagne. So I have 2 quads here. I'm going to pair them together, tying them by the necks, and then I have 3 total right now that I've combined. You can kind of see the bubble effect starting already. Now with my 11-inch balloons, I'm inflating them, pairing them together, but sizing them to about, I would say, 6 inches right now. And you can see I'm using the clear to mix that in. So again, we see the bubbles as we inflate. I'm not compressing the clear balloons as much as I am the other balloons. I've had these clear balloons for a very long time, and I got them from, I think it was the party supply store, but they're not as good of a quality, so I'm not compressing as much. But they work well for this design because it gives what we're looking for, so that fizzy effect, the bubbles. So I'm trying to add clusters together. This design is just a mix of colors, mix of balloons. We are not creating an organic design. We are just going with a mix of color because I think that works better for what we're doing. If we do clusters, it'll look weird because you want it to look like all these colors are coming out all at the same time. So I'm twisting clusters of 6 together, and I'm slowly increasing the size as I go. When I get to a certain point, I'm gonna start kind of doubling on them so that it makes it even wider. But for now, I'm trying to add more black because I don't have as much of the black inflated, but of course remembering to mix in the white and the clear balloons. So once I'm able to get to a certain point, you'll notice that it's widening up, and I'll just keep adding the clusters. Then I'll show you where we're putting it. We're gonna hang this in front of our furniture store, kind of like a statement piece for the new year as we are transitioning from 2025 to 2026. So I'll let you guys watch how I just keep adding the balloons, and I'll walk you through how I hang them up to create the design we want. I spaced out the bubbles so there are not too many bubbles, but you can kind of see that accent as you go along the garland. I'm inflating more, and by expanding my design, I'm using the 16-inch balloons just to create more of a width and more of a dimension to the balloon. So they're not only 11-inch balloons, because when you tend to use only 11-inch balloons, your garland tends to be a thinner, smaller size, which is what we're going for at the beginning by sizing them smaller and expanding. But this time we're doing an expansion, like tapering wider. Now I have a 260Q. I'm going to roll this onto the end of our champagne bottle. You just roll that on and then double tie the end. This is the front of our furniture store. I'm going to cut off the excess 260, and on that end I'm going to thread that into the command hook and tie, double tie. You only need this attached to the command hook, so the excess 260, I just cut that off. This is what we're going to put on. Because the champagne bottle is light, we're not worried about the weight on this, and I didn't want to mess with doing this when the command hook is already on there. I attached the command hook to the glass at the very top. That's my dad leaving. He put the ladder there for me. And I'm using a fishing line now because the top of the bottle doesn't have anything to attach. The attachment was on the bottom. I think they designed it where you could put it maybe on a balloon garland or maybe a balloon bouquet, but not for this design. But this is what I bought this for a while ago. I've always wanted to do this design, and this is my opportunity. So I double wrapped it on the end of the bottle at the very top so that I can use that to attach the balloon garland, and I left some of the string hanging. Now using a safety pin, I'm tying part of the fishing line to the end of the safety pin that is not open, and I'm going to use that to anchor this as well. So this is what we designed just now. It was harder to see when you were looking from the opposite side, but with the tip there, I'm just going to wrap that around where I left some of the fishing line hanging, and then I'm going to secure all of this in place. Now that's done, I have to try to attach and anchor all of this up. So I'm trying to figure out where exactly I want to put my safety pin. Now above there is fabric, so that's why I'm able to use a safety pin. Just attaching it, and the fishing line that's hanging from it, I just wrap it around the balloons couple of times and then keep wrapping in a figure 8 manner till it's all secure. You can see where the bubbles are not aligned anymore with the bottle, but I'm gonna adjust that. Once I'm able to get down and look at everything, then I can twist things around so it's actually coming from the bottle top. Again, the bottle is pointing down. I want it to come out, so I'm making adjustments again to twist the bottle around a little bit. I think I do that a couple of times as the design goes on. Now we have that anchored up. We need another safety pin to anchor another point on the left side there, because it would look good coming down, but remember this is our welcome desk, so we have to create room for people to still see whoever is behind the counter. So I'm attaching another safety pin right above there. I had to climb on the countertop for this one. Then I'll raise it up. Jenny is helping me here just so people can still see, right? So we're attaching that up there, and we'll be able to fix the rest of the balloons. If this is your first time tuning into the channel, I hope you had a wonderful year 2025, and I wish you a happy new year to everyone listening. Thank you guys so much for all your support this year and for all your encouragement as well. I hope that your 2026 is 10 times better than 2025 in all areas. If you're dealing with health issues, I pray for healing and good health. If you're praying and you've been praying for something, I ask that God's promises will come true in your life in the name of Jesus. As we toast to this new year, here are my champagne glasses. I wish you all the best in all your prayers. May all your prayers and well wishes come to you. With this part, we're just gauging where we're going to put our glue dots, because I figure out where the foil balloon is touching the garland, and that's where I put my glue dots. Then I'm going to find points here to attach. If you've been following me for a while, I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. If you're one of the people who have been watching but are not subscribed, please consider clicking the subscribe button. And if you like this tutorial or the video, please click on that thumbs up. That really supports the channel. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful 2026. Let me know in the comments what your biggest wish is. I'll continue to pray for you guys that God will grant all your heart's desires. We're adding a bubble balloon here on the end. I had one around, so I decided to put that on. And this is the final look. Hope you guys like it. I'm looking for foil 2026 to put on the front there. Once I get that, I'll add that on. I might post the video later on in the community so you guys can see what it looks like with the 2026 at the front. Adjusting that champagne bottle again, and then we're going to pack up, and we're all done for today. Again, thank you guys for being here. This was just a quick tutorial, something I've had on my to-do list for a while. I'll do an updated version of the Christmas one we did on the left side there, if you remember last week, and show you guys what that looks like. Thank you guys.